Hi, Matei. Nice to meet you here in the Credit Matters Conference in Budapest in 2026. Please, can you introduce yourself, your role, and your industry for today?
Thank you for having me. So I'm Matei Mihailescu. I am representing Coface, Central Europe. We, as Coface, we are historically a credit insurer. We know a lot of data and information about several sectors and companies all across the globe. We are using more recently this information to make it available for the whole market, for all credit management community. And last but not least, having all this knowledge, we are also capable to influence the debt collection processes and again to speed up the receivables by our collection teams.
And what do you think, what is the most important challenge for your industry this year?
The volatility. First of all, it is expected from us to show the direction, because we have economists, we have risk underwriters, we have people on the ground in more than 80 countries, and we touch 200 countries by our exposure of receivables. So the industry expects from us to know what happens tomorrow. Unfortunately, if we would have known what happened tomorrow, we would have been rich. Nobody anticipated so easily Iran conflict, like also the previous one, which is still not ended. So I believe this is one of the challenges.
Mm-hmm. So it will be great to have a crystal ball, right?
Yeah,
right?
it will be like, yeah, we don't have the crystal, but it will be nice to have it, yeah.
Of course. And what you brought here to the conference this year?
I brought knowledge. Mm-hmm. I believe we can have in our industry, in the credit-related industry, and in our conferences, in our meetings, we can have three kind of knowledge. We can have business acumen, mm-hmm. and for that I appreciated several presentations which gave even myself additional insights, additional understanding about what's happening outside. Then we can have additional knowledge on what we do on a daily basis, on credit management practices, on available solutions, new product features, of course all this technology or AI engagement. And the third one, knowledge of people, knowledge yes. of human doing things the same thing like us or similar, so we are a wider circle in the same community. That's what I brought and I found also mm-hmm. in this conference.
And what was the most interesting presentation for you so far during the conference?
Because I'm searching for knowledge all the day, I appreciated the most the presentation held by British Petroleum.
Yes.
It gave me a lot of new ideas. Several of them I was aware about already. I believe I'm working in an industry which is very transversal. So I'm lucky for that, and even in the past in the healthcare industry, I was also working in not one single vertical, but now it widened even more mm-hmm. my understanding about oil industry and about Brent crude oil and so on. Yeah,
yeah, it's very very interesting words, and it's a word and an industry apart, absolutely, but it's very challenging to get to know. And what do you think, what is takeaway from this conference today?
My takeaway is that we need to keep up to date. We need to keep ourselves updated because business and life evolve so fast that you might look backwards in 6 months, and if you do not spend time to learn or listen or read, no matter what it means, we need to bring additional knowledge to ourselves. And this is step number 1. Step number 2 is also to go back home, let's say, and put it into practice mm-hmm. If we found interesting ideas or engage with the people in some of our organizations are very big. Maybe it's not the immediate decision that I could take, mm-hmm. but at least I believe it's in my duty as a professional, if I find something useful, to go to the colleagues which are responsible for that and suggest at least such implementations.
Absolutely. And why do you think that, for example, learning or lifelong learning is important, mainly in credit profession?
Because practices are changes, geography is different, sectors behave differently in one country or another. Like our companies, maybe we have much higher brand in one market and totally different in the other. And I don't speak about here the difference between, I don't know, Chile to Australia, but even between Romania and Bulgaria, there is different brand awareness in my company, or between Slovenia and Poland. Yes, so we need to get ourselves better and to make ourselves known to the market and to make ourselves known to the credit management community. More recently, I believe credit managers also got in several companies the responsibility of supply chain monitoring, because they are the ones having the financial understanding of a quality, of a solvency of a company. So then if the company is called client, which then you refer to credit, it's in terms of supply chain, of course, you have business interruptions and business continuity topics, but then you have also the financial understanding, the solvency of the supplier. Imagine automotive, imagine big manufacturing. If you in tier N you are missing understanding, and then you have an bankrupt companies, then you might not be able to put on the market this glass just because somewhere far away somebody was having us
went into bankruptcy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, the mining company or something like that. So you underline the importance of doing also credit risk management also on the supply chain.
Supply chain, yeah.
Absolutely.
So you see, this is why maybe some credit managers have not thought about it 5 years ago. So now another reason why they should maybe get a bit closer to these business continuity topics, because maybe in the companies it would be nice not to have two different teams, but or at least to merge some of the knowledge.
Yeah, and maybe for this it's very important not to think only in silos, but to have a helicopter view and also try to teach to people that why is their daily work is important, and try to give them a more wider view to understand that their work why is important in the whole like order to cash or CI2C process, because each and every position and process is like interconnected, and it's contributing to the final financial results and for the productivity.
Yes, and I also believe that that credit managers should, unfortunately life is not easy as credit manager, because many times you are always on the neutral part, and then you are the one who is bringing the bad news, yes?
Yeah.
So my encouragement for the credit management community and for companies like us is to also come with the good news, because definitely this internal small fight between commercial and credit management, between sales and finance as a whole, it's kept to this neutrality. But what if you come back and you say, okay, these 5 companies to whom we are selling today €1 million each, we see they are improving in the financials, so maybe you can go and try to make it 1.2 so that you compensate. So this is the kind of thing which I would totally recommend. We do it in our company, so we come back to colleagues not only with the decrease scoring or with decrease of exposures, but also with the stimulation of the positive ones.
Absolutely, and maybe this is why it's important to manage the whole credit portfolio or the whole customer or supplier portfolio, because maybe in some segments, like in a small or medium companies, there could be some financial difficulties, but there could be also some companies that if they receive more attention, for example, from a commercial point of view, then they can be developed, and also the whole business can gain out of that.
As a net result, yes, you lose 1 million here, but you win 1.2 here, and so on. So I always encourage to have a overall look on the portfolio of risk-weighted exposure, of potential default, so loss given default calculation, and then you need to, if you anticipate by having 1,000 debtors, of which X% are not so good, so you need to make some provisions. Then you need to find, okay, you don't need to stop there. You need to find, okay, where can I get this gap?
Yes.
So you go back and so on. So this is why we, for example, in Coface, we even sell, but it's peanuts, it's not expensive, databases with good companies in advance. So if you are producing biscuits, we can give you in a certain country the list of all wholesaler of biscuits of, okay, there is a wider NACE code of that, you know, wholesale of food, beverage, or non-specialized trade, and in a certain geography, so that you go and you approach those ones, you give it to commercial colleagues, and this is how you also build additional connection. You mentioned transversal relationships. Yes, that's...
Yes, and the synergy is very important between different financial functions, mainly in an SSC environment.
Even more, yes.
Okay. And also you mentioned that you start a collaboration, also technical and a knowledge collaboration with Callisto grant in the development of the agentic AI tool called Calli. Can you speak about some words about it, about this collaboration? Why you have started it and what type of collaboration is it?
So it's a collaboration based on us making available for the academy by all of our economic content. I do consider as part of any kind of workforce, be it HR, credit, sales, accounting, whatever, I believe that a certain percentage needs to be related to understanding the context in which we are living. So the cooperation between us and Calli is that we will make available all of our Coface economic publications for the students who are willing to search for some information and make it available. When I hire somebody new, there is the onboarding plan, which comes from HR, the tools, the procedures, and so on. And I am creating one separate Excel sheet with between 20 to 40 titles of reading materials. And it's also good for the newcomer not to read 3 weeks only procedure, but it's a bit of salt and pepper. Yes. So,
bit of diversity.
Exactly, a bit of diversity. And I encourage colleagues also, and by doing this artificial intelligence, the colleagues, the students will get exactly what they search. And this is also what I'm recommending. I'm saying if you are having in Hungary a debtor and all your company works only for Hungary, Czechia, Slovakia, and Romania, maybe it's too far away for you to read about China payment behavior. But guess what? If tomorrow you are working for a company in which you supply from China, you might want to know that not only the biggest construction company went under restructuring, but also the second biggest was very close, and I also did not follow what finally happened with the second biggest. So this is it's an adaptation, and I believe the AI tool can target exactly the kind of knowledge that you need and eliminate what you don't need, because this is the beauty of search in Calli.
So in this way, there is a quite wide database, and everybody can find the information what they need. So it's quite a personalized way of learning, personalized to previous professional experiences, and also personalized to certain industries and maybe to certain companies, because you can, focus your search about the most important things and details, and it can be a wider one, but it can be also very specific.
Very specific. And I give you a very nice example. Yesterday afternoon, I met a company engaged in petrochemicals. Trying to prepare myself at my best, I searched on coface.com economic publication, which is now available on Calli. I found, from my colleagues basically, that in the simple medicine of paracetamol, there are 6 petrochemical products.
Yes.
I had no clue. And you know better than me, I realize now.
I know that that pharma companies are using quite heavy like petrochemical components. So because the pharmaceutical products has also some petrochemical components.
Yeah, you see, so it's always learning, lifelong learning or beginner learning. It depends what Calli will serve. I'm happy that we did this, and I find it very useful, and I hope the students will also find it very useful.
Okay, and do you have any advice for also for new colleagues in credit management, and also for senior colleagues in credit management in general?
I have the same which I have also for me, to shift, to run job rotations whenever possible. I know it's not easy if you are a senior credit manager, because you mentioned junior versus senior. If you are now a senior credit manager, maybe it's not easy to find a position for each for a while. You can fit in the same way, but especially for junior position, I totally encourage this rotation. I believe people become more complex and smarter, yes, and in this competition with the digital and with the AI, we need to get smarter, but not forgetting the emotional intelligence and the social intelligence, which still for a while I hope you will need it. And
absolutely, because we are humans, right?
Yes, indeed. So this is why such events, again, I believe they are useful.
Yes. Thank you very much, Matei, for being here. And thank you for the interview.
Thank you too for having me. Okay. Thank you.